You are a sophomore in college. Chill out.
And Ron wind him up. I'm going with you.
Yeah.
He was the first person to say when he announced the
As soon
Dapper
as they
Dan.
got that, he was the first one to say, "Hey,
I just got here. Just pumped out that quick. Um, Ron said they're going with. They go to the administration, but we open and we find Freddie with one of her many jobs. She finally got a job, I guess. Work study.
I know, huh?
She's working the phones and she's not working well. And my favorite, Randall,
Hey,
aka
man. Go ahead, finish. I'm about to. I got
aka
something to say about Randall.
aka Virgil. Bring him in, Virgil.
Hey, let me tell you something. That's another one. He should have been a regular. The more I looked at this show, I'm like, bruh, why did they not bring Randall back? He was basically like Whitley if she was just a jackhole all the time.
Yeah, he was kind of money, bro. Randall.
Like Randall was basically if Whitley was an a-hole all the time, you got Randall.
I mean, seriously, like he could have been he could have been a character that they.
I am ashamed that I didn't give that man more respect when I was looking at the show back in the day.
Randall was good, man. It's like he was a problem, and that's what writing is about. It's about conflict, and he is conflict, bro. He's a problem.
I would bet you the same person who was trying to stick up for Mr. Gaines and get everybody's mind off the meat locker. He was over there telling them too. He's like, man, y'all need to look at this dude Randall, man. This character, man. Y'all over here looking at the meat locker. And no disrespect to the meat locker. I know you find yourself some other good spot somewhere. But, just not so.
Yeah.
Not an extended role.
He was good. He was good in what he did. But man, Lou Myers and this dude right here, Randall, they swung for the fences every time. They weren't just getting hit. If they wanted to, hey man, I just need you to get me a solid triple. All right, I can do that for you. I can do that for you. It just was good. They go there. Randall is not happy with Freddie because she does her job poorly. Now I gotta ask, man, Randall is like he's the office manager. He's like the office. Like that's a lot of pressure for. Like,
something like that. Yeah.
Because at one point in time he says, "I have to lock up the building." Like that's a lot to put on.
That's a lot for a student.
For a student.
Let me tell you something. If they would have given me that responsibility when I was a freshman or sophomore in college, bro,
their building would get locked up.
I'd have been. Oh my goodness, bro. Not only would have gotten locked up, bro, they would have robbed everything, bro.
He would have been.
Everything would have been robbed, bro.
What is the place? Quickly, you'd have been at Quickly. Oh, I forgot to lock up the
And that would be me too. I would literally, bro, be in the middle of being inebriated, and somehow it would pop in my head like,
be like this.
Oh man, I don't think I locked the doors. Ain't nobody gonna go there.
And then Eric and Asani with the garage.
It sure would. They'd been like, bruh.
It wouldn't have been no empathy. They would have found you so bad.
That's why they're your boys. That's why they're your boys. That's why.
You just left everybody's world uncovered. That's this. You just left. You left the administration. You left everybody's information open for anybody to walk off the street and steal.
And the first thing I probably say is, yeah, your scholarship money in there too somewhere, Mr. Smart Guy.
Yeah, your money about to get jacked.
Eddie Murphy, you got some jokes, Eddie Murphy?
Joking, huh? You got joking jokes.
Bet you ain't feeling so Red Fox anymore, huh?
You real funny. You funny to me. You was funny a few seconds ago. Now that your scholarship is a threat. It's a problem. Oh God. Oh, like I said, Randall is holding this thing down. And then Dwayne comes in with his because everybody's behind Dwayne, just mobbing up, and it's like, I want to speak to Dean Hughes. Like, man, Dean Hughes ain't here. It's like she out with the flu. She cut off my show today. He like, man, that woman must have cut your show off from her house because she ain't here. And Ron's like, that's the line they tell you. They ain't go checking on the office. Now you see that? I ain't gonna lie. That move that Ron made going look in that woman's office, the wrong person would have beat Ron's ass. I mean, and the wrong woman in the holiday building would have beat Ron's ass. It must be out your what's your
Hey, y'all can fool it. I know it. I can't speak for all others. I'm pretty sure they're similar, but I can only speak for Howard's A building. You can go up in there acting the fool if you want.
What the hell is wrong with you going in there? What the hell?
And they would not be calling the police. They would handle it themselves.
They handle it themselves. They will handle it themselves. So yeah, Dwayne arrives at what you call it, and he wants to know,
Yeah, what's going on with the show?
yeah, what's going on with the show, and he asks, and it's like, well, she ain't here. You need to get over this, and be some. You gonna feel some kind of way. I don't really care. That's what Randall like.
Is that when people start coming outside? Like people start coming outside the building, like Sinbad and all them. So
No. This you remember? This is right before the act break. Let's get that straight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is right before the act break. This is the act break, quite honestly.
Yeah,
this is the act break.
You might want to explain what act break is. 'Cause I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's when you go to the commercial. It's a commercial. Okay, I'm sorry, the act break. You go to commercial and you gotta go to the bathroom, like that.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I can get you." He said, "I need."
Inside joke.
She has an opening next Thursday to see it. Dwayne's like, that's not good enough. Well, you have to wait.
I do remember that.
And Dwayne's like, well, we're waiting right here. Dun, dun, dun. We go to the act break. Drama ensues. We come back. We return to our sit-in protest. And Randall wants these people to leave because it's like, yo, again, like I said, he got to lock up the A building, which kind of trips me out. Like, why do you have... Kim is on the actual phone in the office with her boyfriend Robert and Randall's roommate, and you can hear her talking to him, and I guess he doesn't want to come down. Like, I really want to say, and she's selling wolf tickets at that man, like talking about, well, it's good, you don't want to take part in this or whatever. Man, I recall when they took over the A building back in '88, and word around Cookie is Coach J did not want to see his team on TV, and he didn't. Let me tell you that. He did not. Not at all. Not at all.
You talking about Jeffries?
Yeah, Coach Jeffries, he wants to see his team on TV, and he did not. But you know what? There were, you know what? Except, you know what? There were three. And Ron Smith was.
For real? Okay.
Ron was in there. Now, he wasn't on TV. Let me state that. He wasn't on TV. But Ron... Your esteemed frat brother Charles Gibbs, Charles Jones was there too. I remember.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And there was other dude. I call him dude. There's a dude from Minnesota, man, and we called him dude because he talked like he talked like Spicoli. He was there too. I remember because he was on the front of the Washington Post like this. Crazy. Dude, you on the cover of the Post. Yeah, dude. You gotta fight the problem. I say, I see that, bro. Ron returns with a blanket and a megaphone and a popcorn popper. I just wondered as a college student I guess Ron does come from money because I was like, where the hell you get a megaphone from?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, his dad owns dealerships.
Yeah, his dad owns car dealership. But he comes back with blankets, popcorn popper. Well, one blanket because he didn't bring back Dwayne's. Dwayne thought he didn't bring back Dwayne nothing. Ron gets a megaphone. He starts to rile the crowd up when Whitley. And he said Whitley enters. and they believe she is there to support, but she corrects them. I am here to drop off a menu for an alumni dinner. She, she also tells Kim, oh, also, Mr. Gaines is looking for you. And Kim, oh, I forgot about work. Really, Kim? Really? You forgot about the job that you stood in a line for? And
I
and
While I do, yeah, you're right with that. But at the same time, I'm not surprised if she really forgot. Like when you're in college and undergrad, bruh, it's like all common sense goes out the window most of the time, bruh. All common sense. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not surprised. Now I do expect it. I do expect that she would remember it. But if she truly forgot, I wouldn't be surprised because I'd be clowning her too. I mean, how you forget about your job, man?
how you forget about your job? Really, 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 Kim?
Because I'm thinking of one of my boys who worked in the mailroom at Howard, and I could totally picture him hanging out and forgetting to go to work.
Just
I
forgot.
could totally see him, bro.
It is a college thing, but I mean, I guess she was so much into working for at the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean, you got to take into account Kim.
It's Kim, yeah. Ron brings Dwayne up, and Dwayne to talk to the master. He's kind of reluctant at first, but then he gains confidence, and suddenly he becomes Fred Hampton, winding the crowd up.
Fred Hampton.
You know, and Frando says at 6:00 I'm going to lock the building. He's like, and they encourage him, lock it up. Now this is when we cut to outside.
Wait, what about Whitley?
Yeah, Whitley got locked up in there. She didn't want.
When they were like, get her out. I can't remember what it was.
Get her out. Get her out.
Oh, is that later on?
No, it's later on they want her
okay.
out.
That's when they cut
outside the administration building.
Benny Johnson's back.
Mr. Gaines, Colonel Taylor, Letty, and Jaleesa standing outside. You know what? I gotta say this on a side note. I think Colonel Taylor and Letty were smashing. They're good platonic friends, but I think they're. I can
picture. And you know what? I can picture Letty keeping it to herself.
I think they both. I think they smash buddies. I swear to God, because they standing next to one. Now, why Mr. Gaines? I guess that's Mr. Gaines. That's his stilo. He out there with coffee,
protesting. Yeah,
he got coffee and in constant service, handing out cups of coffee to people.
They're protesting and carrying on like a bunch of hippie children. He was in his bag, bro. That's what the kids say today, bro. You in your bag. He was in his bag, bro. But he was in a big grocery bag too, bro.
He did say in the hippie children. I do remember this now. He did say that. Letty is he says we need to let Colonel Taylor go up with some tanks. And they start talking about protesting, and Colonel Taylor talks about how, being able, the First Amendment right is just what we fought for. And he said, and they bring up the March on Washington. And I had to listen to it a couple of times, the way she said it. She's like, I remember the March on Washington. I was way across the street. I was like, you was trying to avoid the police? What were you doing? Were you scared? I thought she was saying, like, I was way across the street because I didn't want no heat. I didn't want no heat from nobody.
Lady was smart. Lady was like,
But no.
I'm going to be close, but not that close.
I think she was saying it more so. I was way across, after I listened to it again, I was way across the street, but I could hear him like I was so close to them.
Well, you know what? It was so, she's talking about the March on Washington. That was so crowded. Like, trying to get to the front is probably almost impossible.
Yeah, and that's what I got. But at first, when she said, I was way across the street. Like, I was like, Lady, was you trying to avoid the heat? Were you still on run from something you did?
Because we were far back when we went to the Million Man March.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
Colonel Taylor, I was in boot camp at Fort Bragg, and we listened around a transistor radio, and everybody's having their moment. And then Dean Hughes comes around.
And she does have the flu.
She does have the flute, as Randall said, played by Rosalind Cash. Rosalind Cash. If you know Rosalind, if you've seen Uptown Saturday Night, she was Sidney's wife. Uh, she has a lot of many television
A lot of
roles.
credits.
If you're a Good Times fan, you remember her as JJ's older,
Mm-hmm.
as they say on Saturday Night Live. JJ took a lover. She was an older woman.
I remember, because that was the one where she said basically she found out that he was the one who couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he couldn't handle it
Yeah.
because he was down. She was down. She was definitely down. Then Walter arrives. Like, ironically, he's dressed in all black, and he speaks of how he formed a group called Ujamaa, which is Swahili for unity, which it is. But they also party very hard on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Dean Hughes says that she can't go up because she's sick. And we're going to send up a person who's closer to their age to talk to the protesters. And Walter's like, well, good luck, Shalisa. Have a good time. Well, actually, Walter, we was thinking about your red ass.
He actually had a great line, too, when he went upstairs, too.
They're trying, and that's in the administration, but they're trying to put together a list of demands. And Ron has a list of stupid demands, like he wants co-ed showers. And Freddie pushes back on Ron's stupidity and reminds him of their demands. And Whitley's like, I want to get the hell out of here.
Whitley, go home. Whitley, go home. Whitley, go home.
She's locked in there with him. And it's cold. They're saying it's getting cold. And Freddie's like, they're trying to freeze us out.
I think they cut the heat off on him, huh?
I guess they did. And they call because Dwayne looks over to the producer, and producer said, "Man, I tried to do something like this, and it's not. It won't. The heater won't